Hi, I'm Em of M Doodles and Stuff. I'm mainly on TikTok doing influencer baby name predictions and baby name consultations. And this channel is just where I talk about all the stuff. It could be doodles, it could be stuff, it could be baby names. It's whatever. And there's the expectation that you're probably like sort of listening, occasionally glancing at the screen, but you're not like fully watching. I'll let you know when I pop a visual in that's worth looking at. Oh, there's so many things I want to say right now. What do I start with? Let's start by saying I am working very hard. This video hopefully will feel a little different than the other ones because I have the goal to make it less perfect. I'm really happy with how my other videos here turned out. I love them. And also, I was putting way too much work into making them the most perfect creations on the entire internet. And it was starting to take the fun out of it because it was just becoming a really daunting task. I wanted the dialogue to be the most witty, funny, perfectly articulated thing. And instead, maybe it feels that way, but I feel like watching it back, I'm like, I know what I meant, but I don't feel like I'm like saying it well. Like it didn't sound like as natural because I was like trying so hard. Even things like, here's an example of trying to make it perfect. So many of you were so nice and always complimenting my makeup that then I felt like I didn't want to record unless I had perfect makeup. So normally if I was about to record, I put on makeup this morning. I would have like blotted my forehead and I have like mascara and some like eyeshadow. My eyeshadow is actually just blush most of the time. I like a peachy pink look. I would have added a little bit of eyeliner, gone in with some extra coats of mascara, definitely added some highlighter on the inner corners and on the tip of the nose like a young person. If I'm looking off screen, it's because now I'm looking at myself on the camera, which is also something that has been extremely hard. I have to look into the black abyss of the lens or myself or my laptop. And I'm always trying to like come off as natural as possible. But I'm like, oh, no one actually cares about that. So I just need to be okay with that. I literally make it a point when I start these videos to say, I don't expect you to be watching the whole time. You're just kind of here while you're doing your, ironing. Do you iron? I like to iron. I will go to the ends of the earth to avoid putting away my laundry or doing the dishes. But like, in theory, I am delighted at the thought of like a stack of things to iron. I say in theory because does that happen very often? No. Maybe that's what's enchanting about it. Rather than just like modern woman inconvenienced by household chores, the idea of a stack of things to iron makes me feel a little bit more like Irish peasant working in a big house. Yeah, so it's like, that's charming. Anyways, so I want less perfectionism in the video. Realized my videos were getting, this is so boring. I'm making a video about making a video. That's so boring. I'm so sorry. We'll move on to like the actual grid of it soon. I realized my videos were getting longer and longer. Like it's 38, 37, 48, 56, 55. Like they were inching longer and longer. And they were really fun. But again, I was feeling like it always had to be as good as or better than the previous one. I feel like because I'm hunched over like this, I need to like make my lungs have more space. I always feel like I'm gasping for air down here, like, because I'm like all hunched. And I'm realizing, no, like if you just do a 20-minute video, some gal out there, maybe you, 20 minutes is all she needs. She's just cleaning a pot. She doesn't need 55 minutes. Like she just needs 20. You want to do 15 minutes? Do 15 minutes. You know, like we don't need it to be the world, encyclopedia in a YouTube video. My goodness, no, we don't. So, okay, what I was thinking is I want to give myself a little more structure here. So it goes doodle talk about a baby name, talk about something on the web. That's what I'm going to do this time, and maybe that's what I'll do every time. Doodle talk is when I reference back to the doodle prompt that I did in the prior video. Now I need to find it. The prompt said, draw a picture of a candle that is your ideal scent. If you could choose any candle smell, what would it be? So first thing is to talk about the doodle that I did. I didn't do it. This is my vulnerable self showing up imperfectly and saying, that was something I wanted to do, and my goodness, I didn't have the time. I literally had not thought about it until 10 minutes ago. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't do that. I have a loose idea of what I would like to do, definitely involving pine trees, like a dewy, rain-soaked evergreen grove, but also like a wood-burning stove. But that's as far as I've gone. I have not had the time. My husband, I can say this now because by the time this is out, he'll be back and it will be less weird. You'll understand what I'm saying. He went on a work trip that was 2 weeks long, out of state, out of country, which sounds very bougie. He doesn't have a bougie job, just a regular job. But he was out of the country for 2 weeks. And I wouldn't share that if this were coming out in real time as like a personal safety concern. Like, don't come find me while my, strong, handsome husband is away. But he's gone right now while I'm recording this. And it has been so extremely hard because we have 2 kids who are both under the age of 5. So yeah, drawing out my ideal candle scent has been so low on the priority list that it didn't even make it onto the paper. That to-do list, it didn't even get penciled in at the very bottom. And that's okay. So I hope you have a fun time thinking about that, though, whether you did it or not. It's a fun thought. Now, baby name. This is something I think would be fun because it's always fun to bring in the baby name topic because that's kind of the whole reason I am here. Baby name talk. Okay. Listen to this fun idea. I'm going to choose one random baby name and just talk about it. That's it. I'm going to use my favorite resource, socialsecurityadministration.gov. I'm probably the only person on the planet that has it bookmarked. Anytime I go to open a new tab, it's like, are you going to ssa.gov? And I'm like, yes, I am. So we're using that website. It'll be one name chosen from, we use a random number generator to choose a year from 1880. That's their earliest year of data. Hang on, I have a child crying. One moment. We are looking at the years of available data, 1880 through 2021. And I'm like, it's 2023 now. When does 2022 come out? I should remember this because I had the same exact thought process last year. I have no idea when it comes out. And then for those years, you have the top 1,000 names. And you have boy and girl names. And I just want to choose one. Okay, so I use first I use a random number generator to get to my year, 1880 through 2021. So I do that. Let's do it. So lower limit number, 1880. Upper number, 2021. Okay, and now it's going to have me click the green button that says generate. And I have this weird thing where I don't trust it the first time. I'm going to click it 3 times, and whatever the third one is, that's the one I'm going with. So click, click, click. 1904. Okay, let me write that down. Okay, we need to know where in the top 1,000 names are we going. So lower limit is 1, upper limit is 1,000. Click, click, click. 345. 345th most popular name. Let's go see what it is before we flip a coin to see if it's boy or girl. The Social Security website, I don't know if it's just because I'm on it so much, but it malfunctions constantly. Okay, there we go. Now, 345. Our options are interesting. Ezra for boy name. For girl name, it's Iona? No, here's interesting. in spot 344 is the name Iona, I-O-N-A. And then in spot 345, it's Ione, I-O-N-E. So now we need to flip a coin to see if we're going to be talking about Ezra or Ione. My goodness, I have a coin. I literally brought one with me, ready to go. I'm going to say girl is heads, tail is boys. And that is because I think girls are smart and boys, in a sense, have tails. And then, oh, do the thing right, flip it, right? It is tails. Whoa, interesting, we're talking about Ezra. Okay, that is fun because, my goodness, what a perfect example of a 1904 existing name that's made a big comeback. I want to try to predict. I'm going to go look at the data from the website to see its popularity trajectory, because in 1904 it was at spot 345, which is like pretty low. Like the other names around it on the chart are, just without scrolling, I'm seeing Basil, Columbus, Bud, Ferdinand, Aura, Odell, Rex, Sanford, DeWitt. So like these are not, you know, they're not like, oh my gosh, Ezra totally reminds me of 1904. Like these are the obscure names, but I do feel like Ezra, if I'm remembering my past research where this name has been applicable, Ezra was more popular in the late 1800s. I very much feel like it gives Christian homesteader Americana vibes. So let's look at the data. I bet you it's going to be higher and then dip lower, and then it's going to stay low through like the 1950s, and then I think it's just barely just when do I think it started to uptick? I'm going to say 2015. Oh, that was really hard. That was so hard. Okay, let's see. Now, the popularity data will only actually talk about it from 1900, because the website, if you want to know something about a name between 1880 and 1900, it's like a more limited data set. So I'm actually going to go to separately have to type this. This is so boring. Just trust me. I have to separately look up 1880, and then I'll have my full scope of information about this name, Ezra. Okay, in 1880, it was at spot 270. Let me write this down because I'm going to forget. So at 1880, it was at 270. And then from there, it's getting less and less popular. There it is at 1904 at spot 345. It's going lower, 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 lower. By 1938, it's at spot 873. That's so low. It's like, it's in the, what's the lowest? The lowest is in 1952. Did I not say that? Did I not say that? Did I not say that? That's so annoying of me. Stop. Oh, no. Sorry. I should have kept scrolling. But basically, in 1954, it got all the way to spot 980, which is when it's like borderline. It's 20 spots away from not even being a part of this data at all. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, it did. It did go off the charts, because as I'm looking at the years, like boom, 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 it goes 57, 58, 59, and then 1962 is not here because it wasn't on the charts at all. And then it was off the charts in what number did I say? I meant 1962, 1964, 1967. Those 3 years I just said, Ezra was completely out of the top 1,000 baby names. So yes, 1950s was remarkably low. The 1960s were even lower. And then it just kind of like pops back up. Like pretty much starting right away in the 70s, it's like hey, I'm back. I was just taking a break. And then, okay, it really makes a massive climb. I had predicted 2015 to be its year of regaining popularity. The tricky thing is like it goes up and down a lot, but like when does it truly start going up and never go back down? That's the question we want to know. In 1993, that's like the beginning of its upward climb. It goes back down in 2002, just like a little bit. But after 2002, it never goes backwards. It only climbs upwards. Does that make sense? It no longer is like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's purely up, up, up from 2002 onward. I had said 2015. In 2015, it was at spot 92, and that was the first year in all recorded data that it was in the top 100. So I do feel happy about like there being something significant about 2015. And now, as of 2021, it is at spot 37. And that is, that's a top 50 baby name. That's pretty high. I definitely see this as like a contemporary biblical name because like Matthew, John, Joseph, so tired. Like so tired, so done. We're over it. So then you can have like those more obscure Bible names like Elijah, which I wouldn't even consider obscure at this point, but just like compared to John, Elijah. But the thing about unique Bible names is that they're more likely to be very long names, I feel, without any concrete examples coming into my mind at the moment. They're longer. Zipporah for a girl, perhaps. But Ezra is a really nice sweet spot where it's more unique than John, Matthew, all of those guys, but it's still very short. Any name with the letter Z is very likable to a crowd. Anyone that like is looking for something with little oomph. That letter Z in there really does it. But despite the letter Z, it's a really nice, soft, gentle name. And I stand by my impression that I gave before, which is that it feels like he's not, like the person in my head that is Ezra is not Amish, but like maybe it was an 1800s preacher farmer. Like he was a farmer and a preacher. Farmer and a preacher. That is the Carrie Underwood song, right? Wait, is that the right? Wait, am I thinking of 2 completely different songs right now? No. Jesus Take the Wheel, looking at the lyrics, this is a modern day song. The song I'm thinking about, a farmer and a preacher, they're on a bus. Carrie is in a car. She's driving to Cincinnati on Christmas Eve. Okay, I'm going to Google a farmer and a preacher, a daughter and a... That's what I typed in. The song is 3 Wooden Crosses by Randy Travis. Full lyrics, please. A farmer and a teacher. Okay, wait, no. It's a farmer and a teacher, a hooker and a preacher. So for me, that's the first line of the song. For me, Ezra covers 3 of the 4. Not a hooker, but a farmer, teacher, preacher vibe is absolutely there. Strict and with a beard. Oh my gosh, I'm basically just... Okay, I'm imagining... This is like so millennial, but from The Office, I'm thinking of Mose, but older. And actually legitimately from the 1800s rather than 2009. Just like that Amish, little worn and weathered look, bearded farmer, teacher, preacher, riding a midnight bus bound for Mexico. One's headed for vacation, one for higher education, and 2 of them were searching for lost souls. Okay, so the one that's headed for vacation must be the farmer. And then one for higher education, teacher, duh. And 2 of them were searching for lost souls. So the hooker and the preacher were both searching for lost souls. And I would assume the hooker, it's like she is the lost soul trying to find herself. Now, this is funny because farmers don't have a lot of vacation time in any era. And I always think about that in two situations. One is Ballerina Farm, because they go on a ton of vacations. They have a working dairy farm. Or no, I don't think they do the milk. I think they do the meat. Like their cows go, I think. But they're like in Hawaii right now as I'm recording this, which just like is a good example of their privilege to be farmers, but also not tied to the land in the way a farmer is when it is their sole income and livelihood, and everything depends on them getting up at dawn every day. You know, just a little different vibe. And you can sense that when you see their family in Hawaii. A farmer on vacation also makes me think of the book that my kids like. It's by the person that wrote Click Clack Moo, but is it Click Clack Moo? Oh no, I think it is Click Clack. Wait. Give me a synopsis. No, it's not Click Clack Moo. Click Clack Moo sequel. Giggle Giggle Quack. Where's the description? Okay, Giggle Giggle Quack. This is the description. Farmer Brown is going on vacation, just like Randy Travis sang about. He asks his brother Bob to take care of the animals, but keep an eye on Duck. He's trouble. Yeah, we read this book a lot. So vividly similar to Randy Travis's song. Two of them were searching for lost souls. The driver never ever saw the stop sign, and 18-wheelers can't stop on a dime. So there's a car crash between the like Greyhound bus-esque bus and a semi-truck. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them, heaven only knows. I guess it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. Remember that 3 of the 4 people here are named Ezra. That farmer left a harvest, a home and 80 acres. Yeah, like how was he on vacation? The faith and love of growing things in his young son's heart. So the farmer has a young son, which like could mean 20 or 8. So the farmer went on vacation without his son, and based on this story, like also without his spouse. Are there only 4 people on this bus, on this midnight bus bound for Mexico? Are there only 4 riders? Because that's what it's making it sound like. Or, no, yeah, that is what it sounds like. Okay. And that teacher left her wisdom okay, so she's not Ezra because she's a girl. That means we can give her the equivalent, that name Ione, which I don't know if I'm saying it right. But now the teacher is Ione. I know this isn't taking place No, that's not true. I was going to say, I know this isn't taking place in 1904, but I take that back wholeheartedly. It could be 1904. Okay, that teacher left her wisdom in the minds of lots of children, did her best to give them all a better start, and that preacher whispered, "Can't you see the promised land?" as he laid his blood-stained Bible in that hooker's hand. You guys, I'm very familiar with this song because I grew up listening to country music, and I still very much love country music. Like, that is my genre of choice. If I could only listen to one genre, it would be country. Would it be today's country? Would it be contemporary, Trumpy country? No. It would be, like, honestly, this era of country. When did this come out? 3 Wooden Crosses. A year of release? 2002. Totally. This is my my era of choice to listen to country music. Yeah, like that's Shania Twain, Faith Hill, The Chicks, Tim McGraw, Rascal Flatts. Like that is very much my place. So I just love it because it's also visual. Like the visuals you get, like you're listening to this song or reading the lyrics and it's like, it's talking about a preacher who is dying, soaked in blood, handing a Bible to a hooker, saying, "Can you see the promised land?" and handing it to her. Like that's not just implied. Like it literally says all that in the song lyrics. And that's just not something that Meghan Trainor's songs are doing for me. there are 3 wooden crosses on, okay, this is the chorus, which means I don't need to read it again. That's the, oh my gosh, this song is like really powerful. I remember like, because in 2002 in my younger days, I was much more Christian focused. And so it was songs like these, like this is totally a genre within country music where there's like a very poignant and powerful and beautiful message of Christianity. And this is one of them. Like, even if I don't identify religiously that way much, like I'm getting goosebumps remembering how this song ends. That's the story. Okay. If this is totally confusing, basically where we're at right now is bus crash. 4 people, 3 of them die. The one that lived was a hooker. As the preacher was dying, he gave the hooker his Bible. That's the story that our preacher told last Sunday as he held up that blood-stained Bible. I just said it wrong, it doesn't matter. For all of us to see, he said, quote, "Bless the farmer and the teacher and the preacher." Why am I... who gave this Bible to... Wait, no, I'm getting sad. Who gave this Bible to my mama, who read it to me. And so... So the hooker recommitted herself in some capacity, we're led to assume, to a life of morals and Christian beliefs, and she lived a full life and had a son, and that son became a preacher. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not 4 of them? Now I guess we know. It's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. His name is Ezra. Wow. Jesus Take the Wheel has truly nothing on 3 wooden crosses. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Because as a person that listened to country music all growing up, I can tell you that I heard Jesus Take the Wheel on the radio far too many times. I am just sick and tired of just thinking about it. Holy moly, Jesus Take the Wheel came out in 2005, which was only 3 years after 3 wooden crosses. Now that's interesting. In my mind, those are totally different decades. Probably because Randy Travis would have been quite older at that point in his career than Carrie Underwood. But Randy, how did you feel when Carrie's song, also about Christianity and car crashes, came onto the scene and kind of like, honestly, was like a semi-truck rammed into the back of your song? Totally annihilated it. If I was playing one of those games where it's like, get people to guess what you're talking about without saying the key words about it, there's like a million of those games. If I were to say country song with a Christian theme where a car crash changes everything, you would obviously say Jesus takes the wheel. Jesus takes the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. But I'm actually talking about 3 wooden crosses. That song, 3 wooden crosses, has major Ezra vibes. 1904 Ezra vibes. Incredible. That was a really good journey. Wow. Okay, and then the other thing was just talk about something on the web. Great, yeah, I would love to do that, as if I haven't done it enough. I want to talk about something I saw on the web. And by no means does that mean it's the most important thing on the web. It's just the most recent thing that made me think, I want to talk about that more. And that is simply, so this is a post, I'll put it here, from Ashley Ann. Remember her? Remember talking about Ashley Ann? Ashley Ann is someone I did a prediction on very early on in my baby name prediction TikTok realm. And it got over 1 million views, not because I did anything remarkable, but because part of her story is that her husband disappeared and then died. She was already like a hot Utah girl when her husband was alive, but then when he went missing and there was like all the people trying to find him, and then he was found deceased, she really gained a lot of followers because that's how humans are. Like, I don't think she did anything wrong. And people are curious. I mean, she's a beautiful, very beautiful blonde woman with a baby and a dead husband under mysterious circumstances. I mean, people are going to be curious about that. That is just the way it is. She's remarried now. She had another baby whose name is Pia, which is not the name I predicted. She recently jumped on the bandwagon of bleach blonde gals going dark blonde. This is something I've talked about in a previous video. Emily Jackson did it. Amber Fillerup did it. Oh, what's her name? Aspen Ovard did it. Who are the others? Well, Ashley Ann is one of the others now. She has always been blonde, and now her hair, it's like mine. I have very much fallen into that category of blonde as a child, clinging to the descriptor of dark blonde for my entire adult life, when it's like, no, she's not. It's brown hair. But like, when you come from blonde heritage, it's hard to wrap your mind around that. And it's satisfying to me to see that me just being a low maintenance person am now trendy, because this is the hair color all the blonde people are dyeing their hair to. I've always wanted to try bleach blonde, like Ashley's color, but the maintenance of it has always kept me away. You know, like, I wish I could just do it for a day and then like switch it back. I want to do it, but like the growth and the purple shampoo and it just seems like so much maintenance that I'm not going to do, because I'm not going to tell you how many times a year I get my hair cut. The number is so low, you're going to get scared. So she has darker blonde hair now. One may say brown. And she posted with her Danish husband, whose name is Dane. Just a nice selfie. It's right here. Cute pics of a cute little town. And this is the caption: "Never underestimate a trip with your person to rest and recover." And that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about. Never underestimate a trip with your person to rest and recover. And I think this is perhaps because, like you have heard me say in the context of this video, my husband is gone internationally on a 2-week work trip, and I have 2 small children at home who have a lot of needs all throughout the day and night. And so, never underestimate a trip with your person to rest and recover. My response? I know. I'm not underestimating the power of a trip with your significant other to rest and recover. That's not the reason I'm not on a trip with my person. It's just, when it's that phrasing of advice, never underestimate. It's like, never underestimate the power of a good night's sleep. That's not like really that helpful, because the person having that struggle, therefore possibly needing that advice, probably, most definitely, likely has a reason that they're not getting that good sleep. It's not like, oh my gosh, thanks, Ashley, I didn't realize, wow, yeah, I need to get myself on that trip to rest and relax. I can't believe I had underestimated it. I was underestimating it, Ashley. I can't believe I neglected to take a trip with my partner without my 2 children to a cute little beach town. I'm so dumb for forgetting to do that and undervaluing it. No, this is coming from me, a place who struggles very much with, we don't live near family, and this is the thing I've realized the most, number one thing that I like to like give parenting advice, though I just need to point out that one extremely significant thing that will change your lifestyle as parents is, do you live close to family? Do you live close to family that is able to and interested in being caretakers to your children? The most obvious, like, easy example is just, like a grandma, like a nice, warm, loving grandma who doesn't work. Maybe, grandpa's retired or nearing retirement, and she has time on her hands, and she goes to a knitting club, and she just loves her grandbabies, and she is just begging, just saying, please, I want to babysit whenever you need it. Please let me come over. Can I come over tonight? The grandma who just loves her grandbabies and is always there and is just a major figure in your family. That is such a beautiful, wonderful thing. And I envy people who have that. We don't live near any family. And the family we do have don't have the means to be in that situation, even if they were close. Everyone's working full time, And so when Ashley implies that that this naturally implies that they have an overnight babysitter, it just absolutely floors me, because that is the thing I want more than anything, is an overnight babysitter. That is a lot to ask for. To get a babysitter for an evening is already something I'm not good at, because it's time to set it up, it's logistics, and I just think let's just stay in and watch a movie on the couch. An overnight babysitter isn't just like anyone. It's like next level, So either that's family, or, a very close friend, or it's a lot of money, or both, We've only been, our oldest is 4.5. So the number of times that we have been away from our children together, away from, like, an overnight away from our children, with the exception of when I was giving birth to the second child, we've done a total of 5 nights. So 5 nights in the past 4.5 years. And so Ashley telling me never underestimate a trip with your person to rest and recover. Ashley, the problem's not that I'm underestimating it. My problem here is that more than anything, I want an overnight babysitter. You clearly have that, and I'm jealous. And you're assuming that the reason I'm not doing it is because I'm underestimating the power of a trip. That's not the reason I'm not on a trip. So yeah, it's jealousy. I have jealousy of that. I envy it. I admire it. When people have access to overnight babysitters, that's an incredible, amazing thing to have. Also, before I put my kids to bed tonight, my daughter is very into Beauty and the Beast, which is just like truly the most wild thing, because we don't push princess agenda or like boys like cars, girls like princesses. We never did anything, but that's how it ended up. It's truly remarkable what they're drawn to. So we sing a lot of the soundtrack of Beauty and the Beast, and she specifically asked for the Girl Outside song, which I interpret it as like the one where she's like walking through the village, or it could be when the like falling in love sequence, when they're like outside in the snow. She wears like her cute winter dress for that like little scene. They're like feeding birds. Anyways, either of those. I was singing this song and I was like, isn't there, because we've seen these movies so many times. So like, isn't there a part where there's like a really frenzied mother who kind of like barks out a line? I don't think she's singing. She just like has this one line of dialogue, and it's like the most haggard, distressed mother with babies you can imagine. And then it got me thinking, I want to look at this song, because I identified, yes, that does exist, but I actually want to go through the song and see how each female character other than Belle is interpreted in the town square. So we're going to do that. I don't think I'm going to be able to put up the song as I'm listening. I think that's like copyright infringement. But this is a YouTube video from Disney Plus. No, just Disney. I mean, that's a verified checkmark. So verified checkmark, Disney, YouTube, Beauty and the Beast song, Belle, sing along, Disney. Okay, I'll pause it when I'm going to say something. Yeah, that's what I do. So I'm going to pause it anytime there's a female that's not Belle and see what's the situation. First female sighting, we saw Belle and then 3 men, townsmen. We've seen our first female at 31 seconds. And she is leaning out a window. I'll put a picture, like a screen grab of each of these women in the visual here. So she is like beating a rug. So she's cleaning. She's doing the domestic labor, either of her own home or she's the hired help of another home. I do like, we see some body diversity here. I mean, that's the tale as old as time, that the princesses have to be the most impossibly slender, beautifully shaped women of existence. But I'm delighted to see this woman with, like a round face and like big, nice round shoulders and arms. Like, it feels very familiar to me. I'm liking that. I'm happy to see that. I'm bummed that she has to clean that rug. Happy to see her though. At 38 seconds, we've seen 2 more men and 1 more woman. I probably should have finished the scene. She's running out of a door to get, what did she get? Okay, so she got a piece of bread. Oh, because that's the line. The same old bread and rolls to sell. So we saw a woman acquire a roll of bread. Fantastic. That's great. Eating bread. This is so far, I'm happiest for her. Okay, so at 56 seconds, we do not see Marie, but we hear the line, "Marie, the baguettes, hurry up." And he doesn't sound happy. He's haggard and a little frantic about it. He's not saying please. His voice is not kind. Is Marie his wife? My default assumption was yes. But behind the scenes, what's happening? What's Marie got on her plate? Is she working there with kids in tow? She's behind on getting the baguettes to the window. And there is a reason for that. And we don't know it. Baguettes just don't happen to run late. There is a reason for it. And that's the real story here. Something happened. It's either a baguette issue, a Marie issue, but let's assume the best of her intentions and her abilities, and she's trying her hardest. Interesting. Okay. A few things to say. This is at 59 seconds. There are 2 old women who are portrayed as gossiping. Of course, they're old ladies gossiping. What else is media about? Now, my question is the background. A person goes by in the background that looks like a woman, but really looks like she's wearing pants. They're like a nice olive green. This has got to be a woman, because the woman in the background, I'll put a picture here, has roughly the same hairstyling as the gossiping woman on the left on the screen. Their faces are similar enough. I feel like the background woman is younger because she looks like maybe red hair. The hat and the face and perhaps even the shape of the bum tell me that this is a woman who's mid to older age. Nice smile on her face. She looks happy. Now there's a patch on her jacket of her elbow, which I think is just universally regarded in cartoons as poor person. It looks like she's wearing pants, and she's carrying a nice little, maybe a toolbox, sewing box, a long skinny box. Definitely reads as a toolbox. And she's wearing sandals. Who is this? I don't know the situation, but so far I'm intrigued. She's smiling, like she's looking at Belle smiling. She's going somewhere. She's walking with purpose and joy. She's handy. She's fixed the patch on her jacket. And I think she's a feminist because she's wearing pants. She's a free spirit. She's not in those little lady shoes. She's in sandals. They honestly look like the ones I have from Target, kind of. Her face is protected from the sun via the nice large brimmed hat she has. So good. Let's keep going. Okay, and then at 104 we have another woman. Oh, I always forget. I should watch the whole scene before I start talking about it. Okay, so this woman, oh, this is a fancy lady. She has like a big hat with a feather in it, and she is also like gossiping vibe, like rolling her eyes in like a fancy old lady way because she has a teacup. So rolling her eyes, gossiping. Okay, we've got, oh, there's so many ladies. No, 2. Okay, so unhappy woman and then like a beautiful woman. Oh, so the first woman, she's going like this. She's talking about Belle doing the universal symbol for crazy. Oh, interesting. Okay, so she said, she's the one that sings the line, good day. She's very beautiful. She has a lob, like Ashley Ann, length of a lob haircut. She has the tiniest waist and she has like a V-shaped top, kind of like Aurora. She's very beautiful. The beauty standards here are impossibly high. Okay, I remember her. At 117, we have the exchange, not the haggard mother exchange, but the situation where we have a very busty young woman who is getting a piece of meat from a butcher, and there's a woman behind the butcher that we can assume is his wife, and she is quote-unquote ugly. She has a furrowed low brow, nice strong forearms. She's not smiling, and he is oogling at the busts of the younger woman. And my goodness, the animator in charge of this was truly told, this woman has boobs. They even have her do like she's getting the meat, and then she like does a little curtsy bow to him, and when she does that, she's like bowing down to camera. So like we really see her cleavage in full. We get the full view. You know, she's bowing to it's wow. So that was a man that was in charge of that. Oh my gosh, do her boobs bounce? Yes, they do. And I do not say that in scorn, but just amusement of the precision of the animators. Like the bounce, if you could watch it in slow-mo, it's like truly like she's going, wow, she's going down a step. Wow, sorry, I happen to have it paused at, you know what, I should just grab this screenshot because I don't know if I'll ever be able to get this as perfectly as it is right here, right now. It's just defying gravity, simply put. They bounce up like out of her dress and back in. Not like out of her dress, but like boom, boom. And it's like, did they need to do that? Did they need to do that for this film, for this millisecond of a scene of a character we see for a millisecond? And immediately after hot girl with hot boobs, we get the frazzled mother. This is at 1 minute and 20 seconds. And she basically barks out the line, I need 6 eggs. So she has 3 infants and then 2 like maybe toddler or young aged children at her sides. One of them, so she's carrying a basket on her arm, and then one child is like clinging to the basket, and on the other side you just see like the side of the head of a boy clinging to her hip. And in her arms, along with the basket, she has 3 infants. One is asleep, sucking their thumb. One is like pining to get away from her, like just like pushing off of her as much as they can. And then one is just going like this. And is she the mother? Is she the wet nurse? Is she the grandmother? Is she caretaker? We don't know, but we know that she is having a really hard time. Based on everything we're seeing here, I just feel for her so much. Everything about this sucks. She needs 6 eggs, and is she even gonna get him home? Let me watch this again. Oh, okay, if I like pause it at slightly different, I would have completely different things to say about what the babies are doing, because then one of them is like clinging here, and then one is there, and then we see the little girl going and grab the basket, and the little boy peeks his head out. It's just complete chaos. Let me watch this again. My goodness, she just has such a hard life. I'm trying to pause it at like the absolute like depths of despair. There's this certain look she gives right at the end, which just like is so hard to watch. And you know what really sucks about it is she's living her worst life, and directly in the background is Belle, like holding on to the back of the carriage thing, just in like the most majestic wanderlust pose you've ever seen. Just like, you know, her whole vibe here is like yearning for adventure. And the juxtaposition of Belle, so beautiful and free, with this woman living the absolute worst life, it's hard to look at, honestly, because I know which of these women I feel more aligned with. And it's not the princess, let me just say that. Imagine if Belle looked at the woman. Belle does not look at the woman. She looks past the woman with this nice, vibrant smile on her face. Imagine if Belle were to turn to this woman with her 5 children, triplets, and say, "Never underestimate a trip with your person to rest and recover." I'm pissed. I'm so freaking pissed. Okay, in the background of minute 122, there's like a woman just going, so, got that. Okay, a woman peeking out of a door. No thoughts there. Completely, that is like our neutral woman. Okay, we have a female child, different than the one that was with the woman with triplets. She's playing, and that's nice. She's playing with 2 boys. We always, if we're going with ratios of men to women in this town, we're always on the screen seeing more men than women. There's also a woman traveling with a man. The man looks like a pilgrim, honestly. Woman traveling with a basket, girl jumping rope. Next woman we see is dumping water out of a bucket down a drain pipe, like a storm, no, like a roof drain thing, which like, is it water or is it like waste water? Is it poo-poo pee-pee water? You know, isn't that the whole issue with olden times, is just everyone getting sick from each other's filth, just throwing out those pails of waste every morning? It looks clear. Like, this looks like blue water, so we can hope for the best. But why would she be tossing it out if it was just clean water? Wasn't that so hard to find? Okay, the next woman we see like a big overshot of the like the town square. There's a woman washing laundry in the fountain. There's a woman like not beating a rug, but like, you know, like airing out a towel out of a window. And then there appears to be a group of 3 women huddled together talking. So far, we're only halfway through this clip. Women can either clean, take care of children, or talk amongst themselves. This one isn't in a negative context, but the other ones we have seen up until this one have been very much giving the body language and facial expressions of negative gossiping. We get a better view of the woman cleaning in the fountain. Wait, why is she so unhappy? She was washing and then Belle was singing and the woman went and got her stuff and left. I don't know what that's about. Is it because there's sheep? Okay, then we have a woman at the hat shop, and I know that because I took French for 6 years, and the window says, I can't tell what the top says, it's cut off, but chapeau. That means hat. So this woman also, like, we've got a nice more diverse cast of body types here, though definitely does it feel like the women we're seeing of larger sizes are depicted in like admirable lights? No, it doesn't. Like, they're either neutral light or negative light. This is the first woman we've seen who clearly seems to be wearing lipstick, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. So she is again giving a gossipy vibe, and there's a man next to her holding a mirror, looking totally uninterested in this woman's existence. Oh, okay. This woman is kind of, basically, she's like primping her hair and then she pulls it off and it's revealed that it's a wig and she's bald. That's, it's like, why did they do that? You know, what was the motive of that choice? My first thought is she was meant to be, because her line that she's singing is that Belle's name means beauty. Her looks have no parallel. Basically, she's saying Belle is a very beautiful woman. And now it's like the joke is like, haha, and she's not beautiful because she has no hair. That seems to be the joke. I'm not saying that's how I feel. I'm saying that seems to be the joke, and that is unfortunate. Okay, then Belle either gives something to a woman or vice versa. She has a bread basket, so maybe that's what Belle was getting. So there's an exchange, Belle interacting with a nice short woman who has a basket of bread. So that woman is doing labor, you know, she's selling, she's doing the hustle of selling her bread. I'm going to say something that could be controversial, but I'm actually realizing most of the women you see in this town are short and stout. And for me, I love seeing that because I am short and stout. These women feel like these are hardworking women that are capable of carrying lots of loads of potatoes on their shoulders. Like, they're short and stocky and strong. That is so relatable. I love that. Do I think that was their reason they did that? No, I think they did it in a negative way, because the only women we see who are slender like Belle are the hot girls, you know? The default woman in this town is short and stout. And maybe that's they're also all like over the age of 45. Except for, obviously, there's like the three silly girls. So, okay, we see her, and then there's another woman in the very background with a similar vibe. She's also, bread. These women in these town hustle bread. Bread. Okay, I spoke too soon. They're the three silly girls, and they are identically blonde, hot, full lipstick lips, cleavage, tiny waists, nice beautiful shoulders exposed, and they are the silly girls. That's what they're called in the casting. I never noticed that. I am not like a hardcore Disney person. I am absolutely certain I am not saying anything remotely original here, but it's new to me. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. So the three silly hot ladies are swooning over Gaston, because that's the fourth woman. That's the fourth thing a woman can be doing, which is swooning over a man. And there's like a water pump, and they're all like yearning in his direction, and they're all doing like that cartoon thing where they're like, ah. I was probably covering the microphone in a bad way, but like. And as they do that, they're leaning their elbows down on the pump, the big pump handle, and it's like squirting water out at the little guy. But it's the elbows of two of them. One of the silly girls, she's pushing the pump down with her boobs. Like, it's like exactly, there's no other word. Why am I trying to elaborate on this? Her boobs are landing on the water pump. Again, that was an intentional choice by a male animator. There was a team that discussed this. You know, like when you're filming a real life movie thing, you know, things can just happen. In a way that animation, everything is intentional. You can't just like, oh, and like in this one scene, she happened to push it down with her boobs because she like walked in at a different angle. No, this was meticulously crafted and approved, discussed, planned by many people for a movie that appeals to children, a movie that my 3-year-old loves. Why did they need to have that in there? She also has the, she stands back up and her boobs jiggle. Just had to let you know. Okay, we see some more women. What is she selling? Looks like bananas. I don't think that's right though. Okay, we see 2 women over his shoulder. I'm getting gossiping vibes. They were kissing on the cheek or they were gossiping. Interesting. Kind of looks like, it looks like a maybe mother-daughter. There's some whispering in an ear happening. Oh my gosh, we're getting to that crazy scene where she like walks through and we're like looking at her from behind. So there's just like a lot of townspeople crossing here. I'm not going to be able to identify every single one, but we see a nice happy child running. We see a woman with a basket looking confused. We see an angry woman examining a fish. We see a very sad woman. I don't know what else to say about that. She was just very sad. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's a woman selling or buying fabric. There's a beautiful woman walking hand in hand with a William Shakespeare looking fellow, woman with a little pallet she's pushing. They're working. Woman carrying water with one of those like oxen things. Strong. If I was like really going in, I would watch that scene over and over again and follow every character to see what specific motions each of them were doing. But like, let's not do that. Okay, next scene, we see a woman beating the towel again. A different woman though. Woman like with her arm around some children. A woman holding the hand of a child. I'm still the most compelled by the woman with triplets. But overall, that was a really interesting look into the way women were depicted. Now, I mean, to be fair, this was a biased circumstance because I didn't go through and look at what the men were doing too, because chances are most of them were either doing physical labor or selling something. I don't think I saw any men taking care of any children though. You know, there was certainly no men holding the hand of a child that I can recall. Like I said, I want to be fair and say I don't think I saw any men taking care of children in this town, but I also wasn't looking for that. I don't know, it just stays with me. It stays with me that woman, the look in her eye when she says, I need 6 eggs is like very hard to watch. It's like there's such desperation in her eyes and in her voice, and it's portrayed so lightheartedly. You could even say comically. So much of what the women did here was comical. Like, ha ha ha, she's struggling with these kids. Ha ha ha, her boobs are pushing down a water pump. And I guess those are the 2 types of women you can be in this world. Are you a boob pump? Or are you a haggard mother? I have no idea how to end this. I have no idea how to end this. Let's just say, oh good, comments are turned off on that video. That's like a requirement when it's like a video for children. Good. Okay, I know, I want to do a doodle talk. What's it called? Prompt at the end, like I've done before, because this will still be a doodle talk. I'm going through all the topics we covered here. I can't think of anything. Should I just choose something totally random? Oh, okay. Maybe I'll go off of a prompt that some wonderful person suggested as a question. Last time I did a Q&A on Instagram, I really enjoyed this. And then someone else responded and was like, you should, like, that feels like a doodle you could do. What would your job be if you lived in the 1850s? That's fun. Should we keep it as the 1850s or should we go to 1904? No, what time? Beauty and the Beast, that's like 1700s, right? I think I just want to stick with the 1850s question because Beauty and the Beast is 1700s. We talked about 1904. Let's meet in the middle of 1850s. And if you've watched any of the prior videos, you know that 1800s realm is like my sweet spot, favorite era of history to doodle, to think about, to create fictional computer game concepts for. You know, that's really where I thrive. So yeah, doodle a picture of you in what your job would be if you lived in the 1850s. Amazing. Love that idea. Thanks for being here. This has been a new experience. I hope it was okay. It wasn't perfect, but that was the goal. Okay, bye.